Good morning and welcome to Newswatch Today. I'm Cameron Lee.
And I'm Austin Mickey. Stanley Cup maker sued over lead disclosure.
And an 8-year-old chess prodigy makes history.
Aubrey Jackson is here with your forecast, and Titus Smith has your latest sports news. This is Newswatch Today.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Austin, I can't think of a better weather morning than what we had this morning. The rain had gone, there was beautiful sun in the sky, it was warm, I loved it.
I know, it was amazing, and I hope it continues throughout the rest of the day. So Aubrey, what can you tell us about that?
Well, Austin, here's what I can tell you about that. We start with sunny and 53 degrees outside. So I was outside this morning and we did have some precipitation that had come through earlier in the AM, but with a humidity of 94%, which is slightly higher than last week, we can see it is going to be pretty nice today. Our high temperature is going to be those showers that we experienced, and then sun with a high of 67. So be prepared to go outside because it is going to be pretty nice. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aubrey. I am excited for warm weather today. I can't express how excited I am.
I know, I completely agree, and I hope it continues throughout the rest of the weekend. But I guess we'll know more in just a little while during Aubrey's full forecast.
Tax day is less than 2 months away, and if you haven't filed yet, now might be a good time to start. Tax experts say if you make a mistake, there's still plenty of time to correct it before the April 15th deadline. Filing your taxes can be a complicated process, and the tiniest mistake can throw everything off. The IRS says common errors include misspelling a name or typing in the wrong social security number. Another common error is choosing the wrong filing status and not listing your dependents correctly. And that can prevent you from receiving tax credits and a bigger refund. Typically, your marital status on the last day of the tax year determines your status for the entire year, and filing jointly can mean a higher refund. If you have a family member deemed permanently and totally disabled, you can claim them as a dependent as well. And if your child is under 17, you could receive up to $2,000 per child in tax credits. Using tax software like TurboTax or H&R Block can help guide you through the process. If you file early and happen to make one of these mistakes, you'll still have time to fix it. In some cases, the IRS may even notify you about the error.
Scientists are becoming increasingly concerned about space pollution levels. Up to 10% of particles contain bits of metal in the upper atmosphere, according to a new study from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. This vaporized metal is a result of rockets or satellites that have burned up or fell out of orbit. The study also predicts that 50% of stratospheric aerosols will consist of man-made debris in the next several decades. Scientists are worried how the ozone layer and how the Earth's climate will be impacted as tens of thousands of satellites are set to be launched in the upcoming future. Additionally, astronomers fear the increasing amount of light pollution could soon hinder the study of other galaxies with terrestrial telescopes.
Evangel Public Safety has announced a unique learning opportunity for the students to be taught how to handle themselves in dangerous situations through a self-defense class. On Saturday, March 2nd, Evangel Public Safety has hired a professional safety training company to host the self-defense class in the Maybe Fitness Center. This is offered to all Evangel communities.
There's a lot of crime around in the area, and I just want to be equipped for any situation that possibly could happen.
Our campus is thoroughly protected by public safety and its security measures. However, this class prepares students for safety in the future.
I'm moving to Las Vegas this summer, and you just never know what's going to happen, like on the Strip or anywhere around there. I think that what they're teaching could really come in handy. And I'm also getting married, so you got to keep the wife protected.
The self-defense class will take place from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. March 2nd. It's $25 per participant. Students can register through the Connect app.
Next week starts Evangel's Global Impact Week. With more on the story is Carson Twig.
Wednesday will mark the start of Evangel's annual Global Impact Week, which is put on every year with the help of Evangel's World Changers with the goal of enlightening students on missions and encouraging them to get involved in missions work.
And so it's really just a time to inform, educate, and excite people about missions. There's obviously that demographic of students that want to go into missions and serve overseas, but we want to engage the campus as well that is going to be supporting missions in prayer and support raising as well.
Ending on Friday night, Global Impact Week will conclude with a CAF takeover in the Valor Dining Hall, where students are encouraged to attend as the speakers will come to the CAF and give their testimonies. There will also be opportunities to sign up for missions work through Evangel's World Changers program.
It's going to be an amazing week. These are three powerful speakers who have experienced the Lord work in incredible ways, in the global context, and they have incredible testimonies.
The three speakers this year will include Reverend Joseph Gordon, Fortunate Zondo, and Reverend Sevo Zwali.
All three chapels will be held right here in Spence Chapel. It is expected to have a full crowd for all three events. Professor Williams said that she hopes every student is ready to receive the Holy Spirit throughout Global Impact Week. Reporting for Newswatch today, I'm Carson Twig.
It has been over 1 week since the devastating shooting at the Super Bowl rally for the Kansas City Chiefs. Prosecutors are saying the shootings began when a man named Lindell Mays got into an argument with a stranger at the rally and pulled out a gun. Others followed suit and bullets soon began flying. So far, 2 men have been charged with second-degree murder, along with several other felonies. Investigators are still gathering evidence to go after more suspects. A 43-year-old mother has died as a result of this tragic event. Additionally, 20 other people were injured, 9 of which were children who were shot. According to the Gun Violence Archive, this is the 48th mass shooting of the year. This tragedy has led to Missouri Democrats calling for increased safety regulations. Up next, Stanley Cup makers sued over lead disclosure.
And we'll have a special guest come to talk more about the Made for More event at Evangel University. We'll have more on that when we get back from this break.
Times get dark. We can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for mental health and other resources. Call 211 or visit 211.org.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are in the right seats for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
What a disaster.
You're a disaster.
This is a disaster.
You can't be ready for every little disaster, but you can prepare for a big one. Make an emergency plan today.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I had to become a better man to be a better father. It's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it.
The maker of the trendy Stanley Cup is being sued over the presence of lead in the Stanley tumblers. Customers have filed multiple lawsuits against the popular cup brand and claim that Stanley has failed to disclose that their tumblers contain lead. The company is saying that the lead will not come into contact with customers as it is in the sealing material that secures the insulation around the base of the cup. So far, there hasn't been any official reports of health issues caused by these Stanley tumblers. Cameron Lee is standing by with a special guest. Cameron?
Thanks, Austin. Today we have Annalise Goodwin, a model representative for the Made for More event here at Evangel University with us today. Thanks for being here today.
Of course.
So I know we talked a little bit that you are for the Made for More event, but what is the Made for More event?
So Made for More is a women's event put on by women just to empower all of the women students who, in their faith,
Yeah, so what kind of happens at the event? What do you do? What does it look like?
So there'll be a couple events over the next 2 days. Tonight we have our women's chapel, and we have exciting surprises coming for that. And then tomorrow we'll have coffee with a special speaker, and then we'll have the actual event, which includes a runway and then just worship together and fellowship together.
You said a runway, so everybody's all dressed up and they just get to walk.
Yes, everyone gets to have so much fun. We have like selected models, and each of them have gotten to put their outfits together and spent time being diligent in that.
Well, that's exciting. So what is your specific role in the Made for More event?
So I am the Spence model rep. So I've been working with the Spence models to make sure that they have everything they need, everything that they need to communicate to the board is said, just kind of speaking up for them, making sure everything is coordinated and everyone's heard.
So does that mean you have to approve their outfits too?
No. I do get to see them though, and I'm excited.
Okay, good. That's exciting. Is there like themes for their outfits?
There
or?
are. We have 4 themes this year. No disclosure of that currently, because I don't know if they're supposed to be a secret or not.
No worries. Okay, so what is kind of the heart behind Made for More? I know you said it's about the women here at Evangel, but what's the heart behind that?
I think it's just empowerment. Our theme this year is She is Worthy. So it's just tapping into what is biblical womanhood, understanding what it means to work in the church as a woman, what it means to reach out in ministry, and what it means to do it together in fellowship and really learn what background each person has and how it's used through the gifts the Lord has given them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know you said you're a model representative, so you kind of work alongside the girls that are representing Spence, but hopefully you've gotten to work alongside some of the other people in the planning process. Kind of tell me, what has that process looked like for you?
It's been a lot of fun nights around a table, just kind of brainstorming. We get so excited, and it's just a lot of, well, we could do this, we could do that, and it's been great. All of the girls I've been working with are amazing, so.
Awesome. What do you think has been your favorite part about the planning process?
I've loved all of it. I think Christy likes to bring us little like baskets of sweets. Definitely thankful for that. More than anything, I've gotten to work very close with Allison, and it's been really fun to get to know her and just her empowerment and just the moments that she just drives. The girl gets things done.
Well, that's exciting. So I know you can't tell us much because the event is coming up, but what do you think you're most excited for within the event? Like, is it going to be the runway, or what is the most exciting part and why?
So we're getting to special different tables with different vendors, and I'm super excited to see what they bring. I know there are a lot of students that have tables this year, and I've seen some of the little trinkets that they're working on, but I'm so excited for them to kind of show off their artistic side.
Okay, so what kind of, is that going to look like? Is that going to look like clothing or
a little
art?
bit of everything. I think we might have honey, all the way to clothes, all the way to jewelry, all the way to just anything that they like making or that they're good at, kind of just showcased.
I know you talked about honey. Does that mean there's going to be snacks?
There are snacks.
Ooh, what can we expect snack-wise?
I think we're doing cookies, and we're gonna do a drink table, and just kind of like, we're women, we like to eat, we love our food, so.
Awesome. And what do you think makes this event so special? Why does Evangel keep having it year after year?
I think we've seen such revival in the past. We've seen such just touching of hearts, and it's something that has been placed a lot on Christy's heart, that's been placed on all of the women in the World Changers, and they want to continue to see that throughout our girls on the campus.
So the speaker this year, is her message going to kind of mirror the theme for the year, or do you know for sure?
So she is a close friend of Christy's, and she's coming in and she's going to speak on what it is to be worthy.
Well, awesome.
So
I'm excited to hear about more of it. It's going to be a fun event. Anyone can attend, correct?
Yes.
Any female from Evangel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you for coming today.
Of course.
It's exciting to learn more about the Made for More event. I'm excited to see what it brings this weekend. Let's go back to the desk with Austin and Aubrey.
Thanks, Cameron. So, Aubrey, what's the weather looking like for the rest of the week?
Well, when I walked outside this morning, it was pretty nice, and it looks like it's going to stick around, but more on that in my full forecast.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
An 8-year-old just shattered a world record in chess. Ashwat Kaushik became the youngest player to defeat a grandmaster in classical tournament game. The youngster from Singapore beat his 37-year-old opponent at a tournament in Switzerland on Sunday. Born in India in 2015, Ashwat had already made a name for himself. He won a number of youth tournaments around the world and became the world under-8 rapid champion in 2022. I don't know much about chess, but I do know that it would be really hard to beat an adult, and especially at 8 years old, I think I would be overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's insane. And I also don't know much about chess, so like I don't know if it's indoors or outdoors. So like if it was outdoors, could like the weather possibly affect that? And I wonder what the weather will look like us for the rest of the week. So Aubrey, what can you tell us about that?
Well, Austin and Cameron, here's what I know. So we can see our current conditions are sunny and 53. That humidity has risen to 94% since last week, but it is going to be pretty nice. So after that precipitation we got this morning, expect sunny weather. We can also see today's high is going to be 67 degrees. So with that rain brought sun, and it is going to be pretty nice today, so make sure you go outside. We can also see for today's almanac, we have a low of 36 and a high of 67. So we aren't getting into those freezing temperatures like we were in prior weeks, which means that no snow and the rain that is hitting the ground won't stay. It will dry up, so the roads and sidewalks will be clear. We can also see that the average temperatures are 30 to 52, so it is much colder than in previous weeks than it has been this week. So we are much higher in those temperatures, but that just means more sun and more time to go outside. We can also see those record temperatures range drastically from -1 to 76. So personally, I'm very glad that we're staying in those 60s and sunnies. We can also see our satellite, that previous precipitation that had come in and went through our Springfield area. It moved here from the north towards the south and the east, so we can see how it moved further down here and hit our Springfield area. So once that's passed, it brought out the sun and the clouds went away. We can also see that the more states it hits, the further it moves, so we don't have to bring out any umbrellas because it's already past us. Let's take a look at our radar. We can see for our radar that same precipitation wave that we got earlier. We can see that it has moved further down south towards the east. So the more affected areas will be other states such as Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas possibly. But as for our Springfield, Missouri area, the affected areas have already been passed on through. For example, that AM showers that we got earlier this morning, and as it moved further down, the sun has come out. We can also see possible precipitation coming from the west, moving closer to the east, but it will most likely come further north towards Kansas City or St. Louis instead of Springfield, so we should be clear of that. We can also see our high Missouri temperatures. It's pretty even across the board. We can see a nice 67 here in Springfield, a 64 in Columbia, and a nice 65 in St. Louis. So 60s and sunnies for the entire state. So it's nice time to go outside and enjoy those 60s. It is pretty even, so it is going to be that way for the rest of Missouri. So if you are traveling through other parts of Missouri, it will stay about the same. We can't see our national forecast, more of that precipitation information that we got earlier from what we got from the precipitation this morning. As it moved further south and further east, it will continue to miss our Springfield area and pass on through. We can also see more precipitation further west, but that will not affect us. For our 6-day forecast, we can see that sun that is coming out this week. The high temperatures are going to move further into the 70s, so instead of 60 and sunny, it will be 70 and sunny. We will have some clouds scattered through that, but it will be mostly sunny throughout most of the days. And the low temperatures don't get much lower than 33, and we can see it is going to stay also pretty even across the board. Wednesday, we will have a dip in temperature for a low of 28, so below freezing, and a high of 57. So it is going to be a dip in temperature, but for now, we can see that we can enjoy those 70s. That's it for Weather Watch. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aubrey. Austin, nothing makes me happier than that 77 degrees coming on Tuesday. I mean, nothing can make me happier. However, the temperature drop scares me.
I completely agree, but it sounds like we'll have some really perfect weather today.
It sounds like someone's going to get sick when the temperature drop.
Yeah, but today will be good. You can participate in some outdoor activity or some sports. And just on that note, around the corner, Titus Smith will be here to give us the latest in sports news.
This and more when we return.
Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantori here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family, and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
On February 7th in Spence Chapel on Evangel University's campus, Evangel's a cappella group, Voices of EU, debuted a new song inspired by President Mike Rake's message to the student body in chapel. Their students performed the song Sling and Stone based on the sermon series by the same name. The musicians wrote this song after Vice President of Student Development, Mark Insminger, asked them to base a song on the current sermon series. Members of the Voices of EU described the song as both an anthem and a battle cry. The song is said to be a powerful and spirit-filled song that's based on the biblical story of David and Goliath. Sling and Stone was performed before and after President Rakes delivered a sermon on the concept that God will help his people to tackle every obstacle they may face. So Cameron, what did you think about the song?
I honestly loved it. The first time I heard it, I was like, is this just a popular song I've never heard before? And then I found out that we wrote it, which is super cool. I think might put us on the map. I don't know.
I agree, it's pretty awesome.
It was a great one. Another big thing in the world is sports. What's a better person to tell us about it than our very own Titus Smith? Titus?
Hey Cameron. Well, both Evangel's men's and women's teams lost their win streaks against Ottawa University. The men's game was especially heartbreaking. Due to a scoring drought in the third quarter, Ottawa caught up and beat Evangel 70-69. Evangel went 12 minutes and 34 seconds without scoring in the field goal range. Their shooting average was 38.3% that game and only 27.6% during the second half. For reference, Evangel's previous game was an average of 49%. But onto something much more exciting to look forward to. The Ashcroft Center's last dance is this Saturday at 1 p.m. Evangel's men and women's basketball teams are competing against Oklahoma Wesleyan in the final game of the regular season. The game will commemorate the Ashcroft Center's last game before moving to the new Valor Center next season. During the celebration, the Ashcroft family will also be honored with a tribute to their legacy. And Coach Steve Jenkins will receive the Lifetime Achievement Award at the halftime during the men's game. On to national news, Eric Hosmer, a four-time Gold Glove winner on the Kansas City Royals, announced his retirement on social media. He helped lead the Royals to a 2015 World Series title and was named the MVP in his lone All-Star Game appearance in 2016. Now, at 34, he has decided to pursue his new media company and give back to the baseball community. Turning to golf, Hideki Matsuyama won his fourth PGA Tour title, passing his mentor, Shigeaki Maruyama, and his game broke the record for the lowest closing round by a winner at Riviera, scoring 9 under 62. It was also the third time Matsuyama has shot 63 or lower on a Sunday to win. However, the true monumental record was that it was his 9th tour win, a new record for the most tours won by an Asian-born player. Cameron, back to you.
Thanks, Titus. You know, I know some of that news was kind of sad with Evangel losing their streak and all. I think we had like an 8-go streak, which is pretty sad. But fun fact, we talked about the Kansas City Royals. They got a new advertisement. They're going to have some Quick Trip on their jerseys.
Well, that's exciting. And for the Evangel basketball team, Oklahoma Wesleyan is ranked pretty high, so it's definitely not going to be an easy last game.
But it's going to be a fun one.
For sure. And when we get back, a new member is joining the Omaha Zoo family.
And Aubrey's with us for one final look at the forecast. All of this when we return.
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown, and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. Now anything but lonely.
we have this like deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
Well, here's a fun story for you this morning. A male elephant calf born Sunday morning is the latest addition to Omaha Henry Doorly Zoo and Aquarium's elephant herd. He's the 5th elephant born at the zoo in the last 2 years. The newborn joins his half-siblings, Eugenia, Sunny, Mapani, and Amandra. The 5 calves share the same father, who was moved to another zoo in May as part of the Association of Zoos and Aquariums African Elephant Species Survival Plan. I won't lie, it's a little sad. The father had to be moved to a different aquarium, but 5 elephants in 2 years, that's crazy.
That's insane.
It's insane.
And with their survival plan, I think a lot of that has to do with weather.
Probably.
And I feel like we're going to do surviving with next
with
week's
our warm weather.
upcoming weather. So, Aubrey, what can you tell us about next week?
Well, Austin and Cameron, it's not just the number of elephants that's rising, it's also the temperatures this week. We can see those fabulous 70s coming in, past that 60s, and then the 70s, and we are going to get a slow dip, but before that, enjoy your time outside in the nice sun. That's it for now on Weather Watch. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Aubrey. I feel like the weather's having some mood swings coming up.
I don't know. I'm excited about the warm weather to get us through the rest of the week.
I know. It'll be pretty nice. So that's all for today. I'm Austin Mickey.
And I'm Cameron Lee. This has been Newswatch Today. For more on EUTV and for the latest Evangel news, go to euvalormedia.com.